So the volume is locked. All right, so we are moving on to the Orchid Worlds arc today, which is Tamamo's route. But before we get into that, I was doing a little bit of off-screen grinding, and the purpose of this was to actually get Tamamo up to level 45-ish, because she was in like the low 30s, and she is just so incredibly weak against really anything on the hardest difficulty. There was going to be no way she was going to survive, and so I said, all right, let's grind her up a little bit. She just does not stand a chance on the hardest difficulty like Nero does, and like Altera also does. So I was doing that, and then I was also grinding up QP to afford all of the code casts that we still needed for the Platinum Trophy, and then also I was increasing the Servant Bond levels up to level 30 for that trophy, and so I have the trophy for the, what do you call it? Yeah, so Bond of Truth for increasing one Servant's Bond level up to level 30. And now I just need to increase 3 Servant's Bond levels to level 30, and I'm right around the corner from doing so. So, as soon as I finish this mission I'm on right now, I will have all 3 characters at level 30. So the characters ended up being Nero first, then Karna, and next is Altera, as interesting as that is. So we're just going through the first level here, but we're doing it on one of the character side story maps. I think this is either the Ku one or the Li Shuen one, and this is going to allow us to get another very hard mode completion on the free play screen, which is going to help us to get that trophy as well. And so Altera's only at level, what is she at? It doesn't tell me. 39 right now. So she's still pretty low to be playing this on very hard difficulty. But luckily the required difficulty for this map only is recommended at 40. So we should be able to clear this pretty easily. And then Altera, even though being at a much lower level than we had to get for Tamamo, is just vastly superior and deals way more damage, is way more agile, has a lot more options for how she can deal with things. And so we can get through this pretty easily, although I am pretty worried about these hammer guys as usual. But I do have, again, because we're a lot faster, I do have a lot of other ways around them. Plus Altera has that ice attack there, which I won't talk about Altera's moveset too much because I'll just have to repeat myself when we get to her route. And then I have the my Mystic Code right now does have resistance against poison if I felt like just casting that against these random enemies. But one of the things that's super irritating about these guys as well is they don't seem to get locked into your combos and get strung along like other enemies do. And so you may be trying to like gear up for a combo, and then all of a sudden they'll be way off screen, and you'll be trying to deal more damage to them with the later parts of your combo, and they're just nowhere even near the hitbox of what you're dishing out at that time. So these hammer guys are just the most tedious enemies in the game, and I absolutely cannot stand them. That plus the giant aggressors made out of swords, which luckily in our previous session with the Flame Poem arc, I dealt with them pretty effortlessly. But yeah, we basically don't have to do anything special from here. I just need to complete this. I've already completed the side missions required to... I didn't want to hit that enemy. We have all the side missions completed that are required in order to get Altera to Bond level 30, which means as soon as we complete this, we will have that trophy, which means the only trophies left is going to be completing the game on the very hard difficulty, and then the getting every single Mystic Code, which will probably be the last one we get, because I will probably use the QP that we earned throughout this playthrough to afford all of those. Plus, I am going with an incredibly janky setup of having the Vita version in front of me in my lap with the menu open to see which codecast I still need to purchase, and then going through the menu on the PS4 version on the TV in front of me to actually purchase them. And if that sounds incredibly tedious and something that you should not have to add an external device to the game in order to do that, then yes, you'd be right. That should be something that's just built in the game, where it tells you exactly which codecast you already have. But unfortunately, it does not do that. Also, we just used Altera's best move there. The little orb projectile things. Those things do an insane amount of damage. All right, we have full Moon Drive, full Noble Phantasm, and we are going to go ahead and go straight to where Elizabeth Bathory is. And kick her ass again. Just go ahead and spawn in whenever she feels like it. And there she is. For the co-chairman of the itty bitty titty committee here with Altera, she sure does have a lot of unnecessary jiggle physics that they have added in while in this bathing suit costume. I don't think that's how that would happen in real life. I think that kind of defeats the purpose of having a bra / bathing suit. I may not even get my Noble Phantasm off. I may just kill her outright. Which, again, the faster the better at this point, because I guess we'll block against that poison. Okay, she will in fact survive long enough for my Moon Drive to run out, which means Noble Phantasm, here we go. All right, went from level 38 to level 41. And let's go ahead and get that trophy. Tamamo's mission failed. We don't really care about any other bond levels at this point because we have the trophy now, so... There we go. All right, so one more down and two more to go. Karna's already at level 30. And then Artoria... Oh, that would have been cool if we got her to level 30 in the same thing. We'll probably get her at level 30 just accidentally as sort of as collateral over the course of that. Let me try one more time to... First of all, let me change her outfit because I don't want to accidentally send her into battle or begin the Dawn arc with her in the bathing suit. So let me go ahead and put her back in her default costume because I would hate to like begin the Dawn arc and then we have the opening cutscene with her in the bathing suit. We play around with this audio again. This does not make any sense. Oh my god, I think that fixed it. Alright. We have audio, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, I'm so grateful for that. I didn't want to have a whole recording session without music or anything. Okay, where were we? We're in good shape now. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the Orchid Worlds arc. Let's go back to main story. Very hard. Admittedly, this is the least interesting route of the game. It repeats a lot of the same things from the Flame Poem arc, and in my personal opinion, Tamamo is a less compelling character. She doesn't really have anything grand going on for herself. This route might be the best in terms of the fan service, which, oh, I'm so dreading having to dub. Yeah, Tamamo also plays the worst, and I think this is the part of the game where a lot of people dropped the game, unfortunately. So, here we go. On and on it went. I've just awoken from a massive, terrible nightmare, with a strange feeling I was viewing it from the outside. But it felt real. Could what I saw have actually happened? I didn't recognize any of it. Still, I can't write it off as a dream. I mean, anything's possible as long as you're alive, right? What are you doing here? As I wake up on the soft futon, I exchange looks with the girl cleaning the room in front of me.
Yeah, 嘘。起きたのね。コリス。今すぐに逃げなさい。この城はもうダメ。全部。
What do you mean by that?
寝起きでわけがわからないでしょうけど、いいから逃げるのよ。
She's anxious for some reason. It's weird and I wonder if that was a typo there. And. There's a double and there. I'm gonna just take a picture of that really quick. I was just commenting on how wonderful this game's localization is and script, but I think I found a typo. I mean, it was only a matter of time. But she's being extremely insistent. She must have a good reason. Seriously, where am I? Well, at least I know who I am. My name is Hakuno Kishinami. I'm the master of someone, and I think I won something called the Holy Grail War. But this place... is absolutely beautiful for one. It's a city of flowers. For just a moment, I recall the profile of a single servant. Her hair was brightly colored. Her eyes were golden. Right, she was...
ぼーっとしてないで早く逃げないと。あ、でもどこに連れて行けばいいのかしら。セイバーの領土までは遠いし、落ち着いて、落ち着きなさい私。コリス。
Her? Who? Get away? Why?
やら嬉しいこと、めでたいこと。狐耳がピコピコと痺れるこの感じ。
I love how the camera like straightened itself out when she started talking.
何の問題もありませんとも。おはようございます、ご主人様。天
選手よりの見晴らしお楽しみいただけました？
気づかれた。遅かった。
さて、そこな駒使い、何をほうけておる？我が主を玉座に案内せぬか。
はいはい、それと運がなかったわね、コリス。あなたを逃がしてあげる。さ
Elizabeth is acting strange. There's no need to run, even if I can't see her. I know exactly whose voice that is. A feminine voice, full of charm and fun. The voice that cheers me on and always stands by me. It's none other than...
Hmm? よくぞ来た人間。強胆だが愚かも愚か。貴様なぞこの玉座に落ちた糸くずのようなもの。これでは食前の酒にもならぬ。ムーンセルを制したというからもう少し。
It's weird how Tamamo has like 2 modes. She's like completely vindictive, and then she's the other mode that we're all too familiar with. The woman reclines on a throne that's unmistakably a bed. She gives the room a feeling of, what the word, languid decadence, as if she could be smoking a pipe with her hand to her forehead. But all that aside, I'm just gonna call her out right away.
狐は狐でも太夫ではありません。マスター、ようやくお目覚めいただけましたね。私、どうかご機嫌麗しく。近くば寄って目にも見よ。
They add little stars and little hearts to her her dialogue as well.
さあ、ずずいっとご覧くださいませ。ここが私の千年鏡。
Castor proudly shows me the place of her capital city. It looks very majestic from what I can see so far. But she's the most important thing to me. There's no way I would mistake her for anyone else. No way I would ever forget her. She's the one who lent me her power, even when I was just a weak novice wizard. She's my servant, a heroic spirit who practices magecraft. Yeah, I notice in specifically Extella's localization, they don't use the term mage, they do actually say wizard. But honestly, who really cares? That's a it's like how in Dean they say magus, but they don't really say magus ever again after that localization.
それがこの千年鏡の役目でございます。その証拠に、ほら、そこの駒使い、私。
何者かなんて見れば。
はい、困ったな。ビリビリ言っちゃおうかな。よーく聞こえなかったんですけど。
わかったわよ。千年鏡の支配者にして並ぶ者なき女帝、正真正銘のセラフの女王、サーバントキャスター、神名賜物前。はい、これで満足。
So, Tamamo has a decent team, but they're all kind of... It's a very unstable team because they're all kind of at odds with each other, unlike Nero's team that's pretty cohesive. So, I won't spoil the rest of them, but with Elizabeth Bathory here, she clearly is not fighting on behalf of Tamamo's interests. She's clearly just here out of convenience or out of simple fear. So, she really does not have any true allegiance to Tamamo's cause.
こんな風に言われてはいますけど、あなたの可愛い良妻、あなただけのキャスターですから、この千年鏡の王はあなた様。おや、予想外の物分かりの良さ。でもいっか、そっちの方が都合がいいし。そうなのです。ご主人太陽が闇に飲まれ、大地が砕け果てようと。
They had little music notes as well. Yeah, she may have a bit of a dark streak, but Castor's still elegant, lovable, and boisterous. She's always been like that, and I hope she stays that way. So the one in question here is me. I'm awake now, I think, but it still feels like a dream. When I move, it's like I'm walking on air. When I think, it's like my thoughts are floating away. I try to concentrate and gather my thoughts as much as I can. There's no doubt I fought alongside her. The Holy Grail War, the Moon Cell, Seraph, we were comrades in arms. We overcame many powerful enemies. This castle, this throne, the present, in other words, that's where everything gets cloudy.
まだ寝ぼけていらっしゃるようですが、長らくお休みだったのだからして、そのあたりはおいおい解決なさるかと。5本。ことはごく単純です。私たちは聖杯戦争を勝ち抜き、そしてご主人様は見事セラフの王に選ばれたのです。そして
Oh boy, here we go again.
実に見事な手際であったと言えましょう。セラフの大半をあなた方は支配した。この千年教という帝国はなった。規模からすれば大帝国と呼ぶべきでしょうか。
Archimedes. Ah, right. Him I know. Seraph's system administrator, a special servant chosen by Seraph. I met him when we were traveling to the Mooncell Core to register for the Royal Authority after the Holy Grail War. He was working as a registration assistant. I walked with him a ways, and then some kind of aberration appeared. It's interesting that Soul Hakuno remembers that in that much detail, whereas Mind Hakuno could not.
だからこそ私はあなた方に従うと決めたのです。
英霊アルキメデス、貴様の忠義は眠りへ落ちた王を連れて城へと至った忠義、実にあっぱれ。わらわの許しなく口を挟むとは何事か。我が主が目覚めた祝いの日でなければその下ちぎった後に豚。
失礼ですがお許しいただきたい王妃。私はシステム管理者としてセラフ全土の危機を見逃すわけにはいきません。
That's right. Seraph is in danger. During the registration, some kind of horrible titan appeared. That's what happened. A giant creature attacked Tamamo and I, and it held me captive. I escaped somehow, barely, and I got hurt in the process. That must be how I lost consciousness.
セラフの異常は続いています。
Yeah, this is weird to read now with that added context of knowing how the different Hakunos are portrayed differently. Because, yeah, it's quite evident that the Soul Hakuno behaves differently than the Mind one.
全く無粋なことを申すなと言うに。だがまあ仕方なし。それが貴様の役目ゆえな。ご本。いいですか、アルキさん。 我が帝国の方針はすでに決定済みなのです。まずは小生意気にも我が軍門に下らぬサーバントどもを完膚なきまでに蹂躙するのです。まったく皇帝とは何たる戦勝。我が千年教に歯向かう小兵に過ぎませぬ。まずは蹂躙、しかる後に制圧。セラフの異常などしばらく放置して OK です。
So Castor's first priority is expanding her territory. She seems angry about it. Maybe she doesn't like it when other people are outside of her control. That would be accurate.
ご理解いただけますよね。まずは敵をしらみつぶしにしてしまって、皇庫の憂いがなくなるまで蹂躙し尽くして、それが寛容、それこそ重要。私とご主人様の安寧こそが何より大切なんですから。
Her tone is pleasant enough, but I can see the fangs in her smile. This place still feels new to me, and there are things about it I don't understand. With all of that in mind... You even want to know about the current situation, I think she's making the best choice. After all, I can already tell how efficient she is. She took over the majority of Seraph while I was still sleeping. After all, I think she'll do a fine job.
ご理解いただけると思ってました、ご主人様。もしもお前は間違ってるだなんて言われたら、私自分を許せぬ悲しみのあまり、アルキメデスをそれはもうひどい拷問にかけてから、ご主人様ごと自らを牢獄に閉じ込めて涙枯れるまでよよよと泣き伏せるところでした。
はあ、私への処罰は余計。
He's like, great. She wants to take out her frustration on me and have an emotional
余
meltdown.
分よね。こんな不愛想な男を拷問にかけても楽しくないし。
分かりにくいと察しましたので説明しましょう。つまりキャスター王妃はあなたが賛成しようが反対しようが、
いやん、アルキさんたらあけすけん。そういうのは歯に絹かけて、こう混ぜご飯を油揚げで包むように言わないと殺して。
Right. Archimedes drives the point home for me. Even if I do have Castor's ear, who knows how much she'll actually listen. A sudden chill shivers down my back. If anything I've said before, in complete obliviousness, had happened to hurt her feelings, who knows what she might have done.
はいはい、そこまでそこまで。のろけならあの悪趣味な部屋でやりなさいよ。
I made the joke about Stockholm Syndrome with Altera, but like, honestly, Tamamo is kind of like almost worse in a way where it's like, yeah, I'm so emotionally unstable that I might just snap and just eat you alive or whatever if I feel like it.
まだ終わってないんですけど、お妃様。
エリザベートの言う通りです。我が命を賭して申し上げる。王妃であればこそ私は語らねばならない。ムーンセル中枢にて王を狙った敵は、現在のセラフは危機的状況にある。そう結論付けるのが正当であり、
アルキメデス貴様。
Castor's eyes burn brightly. This isn't good. She's in a genuine rage now, ready to blast Archimedes right in the face. I touch Castor's hand to try to calm her down. Archimedes does have a point, more than one point actually.
ご主人様がそうおっしゃるのなら、私も矛を収めましょう。ようございます。仮にセラフそのものに未曾有の危機が迫っているといたしましょう。でもそれが何だというのでしょう。そんなもののために限られた時間を無駄に費やせと。私はただご主人様と仲睦まじく暮らしたいのです。それだけで良いのです。
おへそで T 湧きまくりね。そんなはずないじゃない。強欲、独占、快楽優先があんたでしょ。一つ幸せが手に入れば次の幸せも欲しくなる。それが女ってもんじゃないのっていうか。
Elizabeth presumes that Castor is greedy and power hungry, which is probably accurate, but Castor seems to think that she has no vested stake in what happens to Sarah at this point. You deserve that.
腰を折られてしまいましたね。そう私は怪しくも楽しい高級的な大敗ライフを、国をすべ民草の貢ぎ物を受け、酒を持っていけとなし、肉をかけて林となし、めくるめく刺激的な生活。これが私の望み、私の願い。千年の都で果たされることすべて。正直な話、セラフに住む生命体がどうなろうと私にはどうでもよいことなのです。
まだビリビリ。ドン引きよね。ドン引きでしょ。この際だからはっきり言ってやればいい。はたち。
Elizabeth has a point, but I can't agree. Castor's always been upfront with me about who and what she is, even though it's hard for her to talk about it. Castor, her true name is Tamamo no Mai. She's an anti-heroic spirit, not meant to be a protector of the people, but rather an antagonist for them. Someone who... someone the hero of a story is destined to defeat. She's told me that herself, even though she knew it might cause me to break my contract. She doesn't scare me, she makes me happy. She puts me up above the world. She cares about me more than she does the rest of Seraph. So that makes everything else clear to me. In my capacity as a master, I should do everything in my power to fulfill Castor's wishes.
そうですか。あなたがそういうのなら、これは止める術がありません。
懲りない人ですね。止まる気なんて
So again, Sol Hakano is like weirdly into it, even though she probably shouldn't be. But yeah, like there's a lot of the... This is one of the elements as well where having played Fate Extra does come in handy, because if you know like all of the conversations with Tamamo from that game, then you kind of know how she feels about herself and her sort of villain-esque portrayal. And again, she does make that abundantly clear to you.
施設侵入は彼らの得意分野です。
Hey!
失礼。驚かせてしまいました。キャスター、あなたのマスターですが、
I fucking love her, and she's here without her blindfold, which is amazing.
いいえ、それには及びません。ご主人様。
The writer who dropped out from the ceiling with a ninja-like agility. Alright, time to get around to introducing Tamamo's team, which I'm extremely excited about.
今では持ち前の素早さを生かして諜報活動に専念してもらっているのです。いえ、暴れていたわけではないのですが、まあいいでしょう。大筋に間違いはありません。
And this is actually Medusa's first time in the Extraverse. She was not in Extra or CCC, so this is the first time that she's been drawn in that art style, and she still looks fantastic. And has some, you know, decidedly more cyberpunk additions to her outfit, much in the same way that Ku did.
美人であることをひけらかすよりはいいですけど。メドゥーサさんがいるということは、もしかして両方。 はい。ランサーと共に。そういえ、マスター。この城に集い、キャスターを仮初めの主君と認めたうち一人は私であり。
Man, she does have a pretty stacked team. If only they got along with each other. So Medusa's team, or Medusa's team, yeah, she should actually be the one in charge here. Tamamo's team does have the only berserker in the game, Lu Bu, who is returning, of course, from Fate Extra. And then the real MVP of her team is the Lancer class Karna, who is just busted. He's a literal demigod. He's like Gilgamesh tier in terms of strength, and is very tenacious and difficult to kill, and he is quite the fluffy birdie. He's not that difficult to beat in this game, and playing as him is a little bit awkward because he has very slow, heavy attacks. But yeah, he does kind of make... he sort of balances out Tamamo's team and makes them a little bit more formidable, whereas the rest of them are, you know, respectably strong, but they just don't play well together, unlike Nero's team, which is all more so like lawful good type characters, with the exception of Li Shuwen, who all play nicely with each other. This is all like chaotic good, or like, I don't know, with the exception of Karna, these are all like chaotic good, evil-ish characters. Pushy Pajama Maiden. Hoten Gageki.
元気いっぱいの反応頼もしいんですけど、驚きますね。
It's crazy how much Lu Bu's design has been popularized in pop culture, to where if you see those two little feather antenna things sticking out of his cap and his signature spear, you can tell it's Lu Bu no matter what genre it is. So like it transcends, you know, video games and anime and all this stuff. Like obviously he's probably the most popular for his appearance in Dynasty Warriors, which makes it that much more ironic that Tamamo has brought him back for her team in this game, considering this is a Musou game. So you can't have a Musou game without Lu Bu, and I am all for it.
呂布宝戦ともなればこのようにあっさり帝国の将軍を引き受けてくださったのです。
Other than Archimedes, he's the only. Well, I guess Medusa and Karna are the ones that are technically not based off of like real historical people and are based around like mythological creatures. Medusa obviously being from, you know, Greek mythology, and Karna being from. I don't want to misspeak when I say the name of the legend that comes from. He's from a Hindu epic, which I am probably going to butcher the pronunciation of, so I probably should not do that, but he is from essentially from Hindu mythology, and like I said, is basically a demigod, very powerful, easily the most powerful member of her team. It is a little interesting how she introduces them all out of order. Medusa will remember that she said that in her side story.
ですが、そうですね。セラフの混乱が続くのは問題で、その点、あなたのような人物がキャスターの主人であるという予想を得ちゃうの。いえ、何かあればいつでも私を頼ってください。私のクラスはライダー、そして神名はメドゥーサ。あなたの王妃と同じ悪をなす半英雄であるものです。悪のくだりは余計です。まあ事実ですから。そんなことよりオーラスです、ご主人様。クラスはランサー。懐かしきインドのジョーコにてその人ありと歌われし太陽の英雄カルナさんです。なんとカルナさんなのです。これほどの大英雄が加わった帝国がかつてあっただろうか。いやない。
Yeah, she's accurate as far as that goes.
カルナさんはですね、ムーセルによって召喚された後、私同じ太陽属性忠義属性のヨシミと言いますか、私のあふれる魅力がそうさせると言いますか。はい、AI 仕掛けとはわけが違いますよ。これぞ我が4機、我が軍団の力。
Our 4 servants all stand in a row. I've never seen a servant following another servant, especially not the likes of Berserker or Karna. But here they are, formed up in front of me. All of them really devoting their loyalty to Caster? I don't think I'll know for sure until I talk to them individually. Yeah, so we already know that the cohesion of this team is sketchy at best.
我らが愛の巣、もとい王城に紛れ込んだクセ者一匹、プチッと潰して始末して、お散歩がてら、お掃除がてら、痕跡さえきれいに拭い去ってしまいましょう。
Okay, we get to take a quick look around Tamamo's My Room, which of course has a wonderful aesthetic to it. Instead of the Roman aesthetic of Nero's, it has the feudal Japan aesthetic of Tamamo's origin.
とまあ、気 気合を入れてみましたが、ご主人様はいささか混乱気味のご様子でお気づきかと存じますが、マイルームとは規制から逃れるための仮の名前。その本質はズバリ、その名も人賜物宿。このは疲労回復に出陣準備、コードキャスト装備にデータ閲覧に、ご主人様が望むなら夜の会話もバッチコーイ。そんな万能空間がこのマイルームですので、お疲れでしたらご遠慮なさらず、ほんの少しばかりのご休憩をそれとも1時間だけのレストと言わず1泊レストでも玉も構わないのですけど。
Mm-hmm. I think I'll go with a quick break for now. I'm not that tired and we need to deal with the enemy. But besides that, Caster...
それはもう女王だなんだと言ってみても、所詮は私一介の美女に過ぎませんし、愛するご主人様と寄り添う以上に大切なものなどございましょうか。いえ、ありはしないのです。懐かしいものです、こうして。でもそれほど昔でもないのですよ。多くの出会いがありました。別れもどこかの狭間で行われていたものもあったような、なかったような。
I remember how it was back then. The Holy Grail War, the Moon Cell, Seraph, Caster, and I fought side by side, and we survived to make it all the way here, talking together in my room. Here we are in this royal palace. My room is different than the room we had to ourselves during the Holy Grail War. Caster apparently made it that way, to her taste, obviously. But besides that, there's still a few things I want to know. What do I want to go with? I don't think I've gone with this one. Let's go for it.
それは当然でございます。今の私はこの千年鏡の主。この部屋、マスターと二人きりになれる場でしか元の私には戻らぬと誓ったのです。
That makes sense, I guess.
どうかご了承くださいませ。他の方々に気を張っているとか、大元の字が出ているとか、なんか久しぶりに振り切ってみたら割と楽しくてノリノリになってると。何があろうと私はあなた様のサーバント、女王の時間と女の時間を分けていると。
Okay, so I am probably going to grab some water really quick before we start this fight because I'm kind of dying here. But I want to quickly check and see what we're up against in this fight. So it looks like all poison sector traps. So we're good as far as our equipment goes. Let me just see what our install skills look like. Looks like we got some noticeable upgrades from the last couple of free battles that I did. That elemental resistance one seems pretty strong. May negate any elemental attack. And we have that times 20 or plus 20. Let's see what we get here. I have increased movement speed on Tamamo, which may seem weak compared to other install skills we could put on, but with her it does come in handy, and there's some interesting movement tech with Tamamo I'll show off when we get to it. Increased XP gain, I do want that because not only does it get a 60% increase because it's chained to these other yellow install skills. I have two of these equipped, and it may seem like a bit of a waste, but honestly I need as many levels on Tamamo as possible to actually be able to deal with the threats on very hard difficulty. I have a defense increase so that she's less squishy, and some damage increase just so her regular physical attacks deal more damage. And I probably should move some of these skills around because this one and this one link, which could potentially could give me a bonus, but this one and this one don't link, which is interestingly enough. Okay, so we are ready to get into battle. Before we do, I'm going to grab some water. Alright, let's do this. I am kind of dreading the gameplay in this route, I'm not gonna lie. Let me just double check that we are playing on very hard mode. That would be... I'm pretty sure I selected it, but I just need to double check. Okay, very, very hard. Super hard. Nightmare mode, let's go. Okay, it would have just asked me there anyway. I don't know why I didn't think of that. This first mission should be easy because the recommended level is 40 and we're level 51. I didn't even mean to get Tamamo this high level, but it will definitely come in handy. Like, holy crap. We're back at Mare Luxia, the capital of lust, or whatever it's called. This is unexpected. I agreed to enter battle, but I didn't think Castor would plan to rush right in on her own. I have to ask her to hold back. Castor is Castor. She shouldn't fight toe-to-toe. She's not that kind of servant. She should stay in the castle away, as the ruler. She should just send her servants into battle in her place. And she hasn't even mentioned the possibility of parleying with the enemy. She told me about the regalia on our way here, the royal authority of Seraph handed down by the moon cell. I don't mind it resting on Castor's hand. After all, nothing is impossible. But the enemy is in a whole different position. How could someone retaliate against the sovereign of Seraph? Who owns the regalia? We should find that out before we charge into battle. We're basically putting Tamamo in her place. Tama mortified. That's something, alright. Apparently this is again a Soul Hakuno who is very blunt and very straightforward to the point, and kind of detached emotionally, whereas like Mind Hakuno was more passionate and more emotional, I guess, more emotionally passionate, I guess you could say. I hope she's thought it through. I have more to say, but we should definitely withdraw to the throne room first. The enemy is an assassin servant. If we come into direct combat, she'll be at a disadvantage. As a master, her well-being is my responsibility. What? Yeah, it's pretty bad because even even Hakuno and Tamamo are kind of at odds with each other. What is this? I can hear Tamamo's voice. No, I can see her too. I can even feel the warmth from her body. Was I sucked into the ring somehow? She's enjoying this a little too much. This is a strange feeling. It's not suffocating or cramped, but yes, it's fitting perfectly, snug and secure, as if I'm holding her hand so tightly.
通に手を握るよりもずっと温かくて。ではご主人様、手に手を取り合って参り。
Looks like she has her dual disc ready to go. Okay, so this is essentially the same map as we had when we were dealing with this same map in what am I trying to say? In Nero's route. We're gonna encounter Gawain here first of all, and of course Gawain is gonna be extremely tough, especially just as a Saber class servant in and of himself, and the fact that he has some pretty strong moves. So Tamamo's moves are very interesting. Her normal combo is very slow and doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, but if I hit triangle once after hitting square, I'll launch up into the air and do some little cat scratch kind of things, which can be pretty effective against single targets and aggressors to get them sort of stunned. If I do it twice, her AoE attack is sort of a flamethrower-esque move, which is pretty good and can be used to clear out a lot of enemies at once and deal concentrated damage to a single aggressor. I blocked a poison sector trap there. The other thing, her number 3 one, as I'll show right here, is a tornado, which he just countered, which is awesome. It does have a pretty decent AoE, but it doesn't really deal any damage to a single target, so I'm going to try to avoid using that as much as possible. Her number 4 one is a tail swipe like that, which deals a pretty decent amount of damage. And then her number 5, let's see if I can do it, she starts doing a little kick combo, and if you hit triangle in the middle of that, she'll do like an airborne kick, like something out of a fighting game, and it's pretty strong, but her strongest one is the last one, where, I'll see if I can do it here. So her last one, if I leave her alone to do the kicking animation and then hit triangle, she'll send out a bunch of ice crystals like that, and those deal an insane amount of damage. But unfortunately, Gawain countered that. He blocked it. So you see what a pain in the ass he is? Like, I'm using her best moves, and he's still just like, nah. And then her little AoE attack from the Extella maneuver is like a little magic energy ball thing, which is pretty good. Takes a little bit of a long time to cast, though. The animation is pretty long. And he's using his moon drive, so we're gonna politely avoid him until he's done with that. This map in general, no matter what route it is or what's going on, oh, this is gonna deal some serious damage. No matter what route it is or who you're playing as, whatever, this map is always extremely tedious because of things like the Servant Slammer, which I've already talked about. And I need to keep doing my little fire attack here, my little dash attack, to keep dropping some of these regular attack programs and hopefully get some sake bottles to increase my Extella maneuver gauge, because I already have all the aggressors spawned in over here. I'm just going to go ahead and fire it off now. This is a really dangerous situation. I may have to heal off. But beating Gawain will permanently decrease one of their available points, because... Hey, there we go. That just deals an insane amount of damage. There's also an 1800 hit combo, which sometimes gives us a side quest completion. Also, she's at a high enough level where I can just tap triangle for the flame attack, and I can do it twice, which is pretty good. Of course, he's got to use his stupid moon drive again. So we're just going to wait for that to expire. I also want to keep defeating regular attack programs and not get my ass kicked here. I want to keep defeating regular attack programs and giving myself more points towards my moon drive gauge, because I want to be able to use that to quickly take out another servant. Because it's possible we'll have to fight Archer here soon as well. And Archer will not be nearly as tough as Gawain, for obvious reasons, but he will still be difficult. And one of his attacks in particular is pretty difficult to dodge, because it's literally just like swords raining down from the air, as you would expect from him. Fire off the Extella maneuver again. I don't think okay, I did hit him. I was like, did I hit a regular attack program in there, or did I hit him? Almost got him. He's blocking. We'll give him some space there. And I think he used his own dash attack there again on us, which is really annoying. He's just... Man, Gawain is a pain in the ass! And here he goes with his moon drive again. So we're just going to suck up these sake bottles, and probably just fire off the Extella maneuver again, because I just care that little about being fair at this point when he has been such a complete pain in the ass. I hate fighting Gwen. One of the absolute worst missions in this game is fighting Gwen later on when he is superpowered. It is not fun. Let me see if I got any drops here. I got a couple of sake bottles, I think. Alright, so now I want to go... I could go up there and fight Emiya now, but I think I want to go and take this sector because it has a plant, and I don't want enemies to start blitzkrieging into my sector, so we'll go deal with that now. Also, I did it right there. Tamamo has a really nice movement tech where you can her dashes are like little somersaults, and you can do that off of the ground and get just an enormous amount of distance, which is pretty cool. This compared to what we were doing before we started the Orchid Worlds arc with Altera there, like, I'll be so grateful when we can play as Altera again, because even at these high levels, with all of her moves unlocked, Tamamo is just not fun to play as. They did balance her out quite a bit in the sequel and make her a little bit more fun to play as, but it doesn't make a... It doesn't mean that she's, like, bad in this game. It means that she's just a lot more technical, and you have to kind of learn her a little bit more. It's a shame that they put that right in the middle of the game when this is sort of the make or break point of the people getting hooked on the story. There we go. Got the plant with the tail swipe there. Yeah, see, that was like 2/3 of that aggressor's health bar with just the ice crystal attack alone, so that's by far her best move. I'm going to try to do it again here with, okay, it didn't hit him, but the little hammer guy up here. I probably just need to go ahead and fire off the Extella maneuver against him because I don't want to deal with the hammer guy as Tamamo. Yeah, so I may use the aerial juggle attack against the hammer guys just to get them off the ground, so I know they can't parry. But the problem is when I go to my muscle memory, kind of tells me to use the triangle for a airborne ground pound attack, which works with Nero and Altera, but with Tamamo it just lets you do a flame attack in the air, and so by that time the enemy you're attacking has already dropped to the ground and it's not effective. But it can be useful against those large aggressors we saw, the giant heavy unit ones, because you can just sort of flame them in the air multiple times, which is pretty good. Alright, so I guess we are going to go fight Emiya after all, because he ended up blitzkrieging into our sector we just took from Blaine. So here we go. We're just going to beat him up with the Moon Drive. I love his transition when he drops into a sector like that and you first encounter him. It's so cool looking. Oh, it's awesome. Alright, my dude. I am so sorry. Alright, so Tamamo's Moon Crux is busted. So as cool as Nero's was, Tamamo's is even stronger, and I think that's just because of her affiliation with magic. Both of them are about equal, but hers deals slightly more damage with some of her attacks. Again, she has sort of an ice crystal attack here that does just an insane amount of damage, and then with her triangle attack, the little projectiles that she sends out with that are just crazy how powerful they are. Alright, he's already almost dead. He's going to go into Moon Drive himself, and when he does that, he gets the Overedge Concho and Bakuya, which is pretty good. But he's not going to stand up to our attack at all. So we get another permanent point on the board there. I unfortunately am not going to be able to really make the best use of this this Moon Crux right now because it runs out so fast, but I will go ahead and take this sector back just to make sure we don't lose it later on. Probably not the best idea, but like I said, we technically did plus from this because we eliminated an enemy servant. Also, I got both of these aggressors down to critical health with the ice crystals too, so that's probably going to be my primary strategy. And now with that out of the way, let's actually start taking these sectors that are worth a lot of points. I think this one over here is the one with the Servant Slammer. Yeah, it is. I don't think that will actually work on us, though, because I think you have to fight like an enemy servant for that to work. I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Extella maneuver against this plant here. Unfortunately, on very hard difficulty, unless you're like an obscenely high level, the damage you deal from the AoE attack in the Extella maneuver is just not going to kill other aggressors. It just doesn't deal nearly enough damage to kill other aggressors. So this was more so just for the concentrated damage on the plant. And we're gonna block that poison trap. I've already used 3 castings of the poison protection there. Finish off the plant with a flamethrower there. And we should be getting in the spawn of the other 3 aggressors any second now. Another thing I noticed as well is that on the easy and normal difficulty modes of the game, killing a regular attack program nets you like roughly 1 QP, whereas here it gets you 7, and then some of the other types like the cube throwers and the archers and all that gives you like 14 to 22. Yes, 22, not 21. We're not doing multiples of 7 for whatever reason. 22 QP, which is pretty cool. So if you're trying to grind for QP, which you will have to do to purchase every single codecast in the game for that trophy, then doing it on the hardest difficulty is the easiest way, because even the regular attack programs just give exponentially more QP than they otherwise would. You can see it here when they all drop to the ground and die. You can see the number, okay, 6 QP, 12 QP, 18 QP, yeah. So, we're going to try to conquer the other sector over here that is worth 3 points. I'm going to use some of that fancy Tamamo movement tech as well, which maybe I'm thinking it's faster when it really isn't, but it just looks cool. Like, it looks like she's just doing a crazy somersault into the air. And with the enhanced movement we have from that install skill, that helps as well with our being able to move around the map a lot more quickly, which is something that happens a lot in a lot of Tamamo's chapters, is that awful feeling of, oh my god, are we going to actually lose to the enemy before we... There's the 4th casting of the poison resist, and we killed the plant with the ice crystals there. That's another trophy that you get in this game that we sort of just got naturally over this grinding for the hardest difficulty, was protecting against a sector trap 30 times, I believe. And so, you know, when you... Oh my god, we lost something. We lost a... I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot going on the screen. As much as I think this game has a good interface, there's still a lot of things on screen at one time to keep up with. But I mean... And one of the cube throwers got in my way right as I was about to cast the ice crystals there. What did we lose that lost us so much points there? I think we might still be okay, because this sector's worth 3 points, and then we'll just need to capture 1 more sector in order to just go ahead and seal the win for us. So I guess I'll go south into the one that has the Phantasm Key, because I'll need that. Yeah, see how much distance that gives us? Just the little Tamamo somersault thing. Maybe it's just for style, because it doesn't actually give us that much more distance than just dashing repeatedly. But I just think it looks cool. Man, that's crazy. Cipher key is around here somewhere. There it is. It's hidden behind all these attack programs. I didn't actually get the rest of the cipher keys throughout the map, so I'll just have to get them before we fight Li Shuan, so we can demonstrate Tamamo's Noble Phantasm. Again, my reflex is telling me, yeah, use the ground pound attack, but Tamamo doesn't have one, so she just ends up using the flame in the air. That's okay. Oh boy, what do we do here? Let's see if I can just get off the ice crystal from afar. Oh, it's cutting it too close. We can do it. Nope, did the wrong one. Oh, these hammer guys, I swear. if we don't lose any of our other sectors, we have sealed the win here, which I wouldn't be surprised if we do lose another one. See, that guy's almost out of health. Okay, we got him. One more aggressor left. Hopefully it's not a hammer one. It is. Alright, I'm determined. We're going to try to see if we can get the ice crystals off here. There we go. Of course it missed him. Oh, there we go. That took out like half his health. Get a little tail swing in there. And like I said at the beginning of this, these hammer aggressors just do not follow your combo. Like, they don't get juggled easily, which is really frustrating. Oh my god, are you serious? That's Tamamo, ladies and gentlemen. That's Tamamo. Right when you think you have it, you lose another sector. And it's not like it adds necessarily to the challenge, it just adds to the tedium. It's like, her chapters take the longest because of the frankly, her just terrible moveset. And her lack of any kind of speed and damage. And let's block yet another poison codecast sector trap thing. We'll go through the center of the map, through all the I just noticed the little heart-shaped things there. I don't know what those are called, but we're back at square one inside of Gawain's arena here where we killed him off. We defended this one also after that from Archer. So we have to take it back again? We're just going to fire off the Extella maneuver again here to try to spawn in the two aggressors. One thing that it does that you may have noticed as well is that sometimes it only allows you to spawn in a certain amount of aggressors at a time, so that AoE attack is only going to contribute up to the point that the first two have spawned in, and then any other kills we get after that are going to contribute to spawning in the second one. I'm going to keep my Extella maneuver gauge here full, and my Moondrive gauge full, so that we can use those against Li Shuen, because we are about to be there. We just have to really just kill one more aggressor and we will have it. So taking a little bit longer than I would like for them to spawn in. There we go. Another sword guy, so he should be helpless against the ice crystals. Yeah. It's like 2/3 of his health there. It's so powerful. And I think the implication there is that any physical attack from Tamamo is going to be significantly less powerful than a magic-based attack. So like her little flamethrower and the ice crystals and the tornado are, I guess, meant to be more powerful than like her punching and kicking or whatever. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But I think that's the implication because she is a caster. Okay, so we completed the regime matrix. Where is Li Shuen is going to spawn? Right where we just left. So let's go ahead and just take him on there. We fought 3 servants in the same sector. That is just lovely. Alright, Li Shuen is not that tough, at least not in this map. He can be pretty tough later. There's a particularly obnoxious map where we have to sort of chase him around the entire map. That's way later in the game, and it is very irritating. We'll go ahead and use our Moon Crux again. Later on in Tamamo's route, I'll probably start skipping these, but for now it's cool, and I want you guys to be able to see the animation. Of course, if he wasn't blocking like a jerk. That's another thing with the hardest difficulty is the servants block a lot more often. And servant battles on any difficulty, of course he's going to transition right into his own moon drive there. Any kind of servant battle on any difficulty, you need to be wary of the enemy servants parrying. So if you attack into them while they're blocking, it's a really bad idea. We get a full pitcher of sake there, which means we get to completely full our Excel maneuver gauge. I'm going to soften him up a little bit more once his moon drive gauge expires. And, yeah, he just punched right through our flamethrower attack there. That's what moon drive does. He's going to get in a little bit of a combo there. Ice crystals. And let's go ahead and fire up our Noble Phantasm. He will probably survive this, as annoying as that is. Some of those Noble Phantasm is pretty cool, but then again, all of them are. Oh, stop blocking it right at the worst time. Okay, I was worried he was going to get his moon drive off again before we did that. See, it looks like a dual disc. And I get that it's supposed to be like a fan, but she would play the Mayakashi deck for sure. Her bond is almost maxed out. Again, Karna was, ironically, and I didn't really spend an exceptionally long amount of time with Karna, but his bond was maxed out the soonest of any like side servant. His was the first one after Nero. I witnessed every moment of it. A physically fragile caster single-handedly fought an assassin and won. I mean, not to mention also a saber and an archer, but we won't count that. No wonder they say the Regalia rules over Seraph. Its power is no joke. Oh dear God, Tomo. She's a kinky bitch. Not sure why it's playing this music here, but I won't complain.
古尺
Saber. I've seen her before. Her appearance is unmistakable. She's the other servant I fought alongside in the Holy Grail War.
なんとそこはしっかり覚えているとは。ちょっとだけ指輪をつねりたくなる私なのであった。でもそんなことはどうでもよいではないですか。というか最初から私たちは敵同士だったのかもですよ。少なくともあなたにとってこの私はムーンセル中枢に通じる道でドーンと私の背中を押して月の裏側まで落としやがったあなたにとってはね。はて何のことやら。
She's getting the smug look on her face. I'm not sure if Tom was telling the truth either, though.
そうじゃよ。そなたも覚えてはいるまい？
Hakuno Kishinami. No doubt about it, that's me standing next to the red saber. Same face, same look, even the same breathing pattern. I know nothing is impossible, but still. I ask Castor what's going on. Free-spirited as she seems, Castor's actually very cunning and alert. She has to know what's happening here, if anyone does.
そうそう、私ったらお話しするのを忘れておりました。実はですね、ご主人様はなぜだか精神と魂とにサクッと分かれてしまったのです。でもどうかご安心くださいませ。私が何より惚れ込んでいる池玉こそあなたです。なんの
How does Tamamo know that? Did Archimedes explain it to her before we woke up? I get it. That's why I have such a floaty sense of reality. My mind controls the expression of passion and emotion. I control the existence of true nature and instinct. And there it is. That's the line that kind of establishes what we've been talking about up to now.
だがそれも終わりだ。貴様もすでに事態を把握していよう。千年教だの帝国だのの世まいごとは終わりだ。セラフには真の脅威が迫っているのだからな。
True threat. Saber must be talking about that giant monster I saw in the Mooncell core. I nod as I understand. I notice the other Hakuno Kishinami gives me the same motion.
いとおかし。貴様の言い分はそれだけか。それでそれが何だというのです。私はご主人様がいてくれればそれでよい。いいえ、ご主人様がそばにあることこそが最重要。他のすべては等しくさまつ。私とご主人様の日々のためにあらゆるすべて2へと捧げることになん
共闘はできぬというのだな。無念であると嘘偽りなく世は考えを述べよう。ならばセラフを支配せんとする悪の女王を世は倒すしかない。たとえもう一人の奏者を失うことになろうとも。
もう一つのレガリア。やはりあなたが所有者だったんです
She
ね。
looks so pissed.
セイバーならば私もこの力を使うのにためらいはいたしませんよ。さあムーンセル、我らの王権を認めるならばここに月の女王たる力をよこすがよろしい。
いきなり本気ときたか。ならばこちらも行くぞ。
手数はこちらが上でしょう。古尺線の動きから
天の動きによる猛襲、見事阻んでみせたなキャスター。接近戦なら一気に落とせると踏んだが、さ
がそうもいかぬか。とはいえこのまま攻めれば落とすのはたやすい。十中八九は世の勝ちであろうよ。アサシンとの戦いに疲弊している貴様を全力で落とすのは世の格が落ちるというやつだな。ここは預けようキャスター。次に見える刹那こそ決着の時と知るがいい。そこまでの力を持ちながら今持つがゆえに私利私欲に走るのか。貴様はこの世の終わりにあってなお警告の化粧である身を選ぶとは
Yep, Nero's got a good point.
悲しきものよ。私利私欲、そうです。この私が私の愛するあなたと共に国を取る。すべくらそれの何が悪いというのです。ミコ、申し訳ありませんご主人様。城へ戻って早々なのですが、お先に寝所へ。魔力の消耗が思ったよりもきつかったようで。あ、よろしければご主人様もご一緒しますか。起きたばかりで眠るのはノーサンキューでしたら、城も玉座も空気の一粒までどうか存分におくつろぎくださいましね。何かご用がありましたら駒使いにでもお言いつけください。本当は私が手ずから満漢全席の一つも振る舞いたいところなのですけど、どうにも女王というものは忙しくって。ですから雑事の類はしばらくの間駒使いに任せています。ではではお先にお休みなさいまし。あ、眠ってる私に呼ばいをかけてくださいましても
She's like, come on, I'm begging you.
どころかどんと来いですので。
We just kind of sit here. The castle, the throne, and everything else here belongs to me. To me and Castor, really. Why is that not sinking in yet? Maybe because everything feels so empty. I would be lying if I said I wasn't tired, even though I slept for so long. Just moving takes a lot out of me. The throne is padded and soft. These fine cushions remind me of Castor's skin. I have to will myself to stay awake at this point, but even so, I have a few things to think about. Castor's words, Saber's words, even Archimedes' words. The unknown threat approaching Seraph.
Kyaster キャスターのことあいつやばくない？絶対やばい。やばいし、最初はただ塞ぎ込んでたぐらいだったんだけど、あの力を使い始めてからみるみるうちに暴虐の女王様になっちゃって。経験則から言わせてもらうけど、こんなの破滅へまっしぐらよ。絶対ろくなことにならないから。だから
Oh, screw off. We don't care about you.
あなたと私本気？このまま放っておいていいの？さっきアルキメデスと一緒にどうにかされかねない感じだったでしょ。
She has a point, but Castor must have a good reason for acting this way.
なかったら？いえ、何か理由があったとしても。
That's not possible. Castor's always explained things very thoroughly. No matter what, if she ever held anything back, she wouldn't be the Castor I know. if that time ever comes, I will have to fulfill my responsibilities as her master.
そこまで信じられるんだ。あいつのこと。分かってるのよね。例えばよ。あなただって、下手をすると。バカみたい。あなた、あいつ以上にあいつを信じてるわよ。コリスのくせに。でもちょっとだけ。なんでもない。なんでもない。そこまで考えてるならもう好きにしなさいよ。助けてって言ってももう。
I really don't plan on it.
「初陣お疲れ様でございました。今こそタマモルームの出番。いいえ、特別なこと何も。ただのんびりこうして語らうだけで自然と心身が回復します。そういう。
Okay, I'm gonna turn on the ceiling fan in here. This is getting ridiculous. Gets pretty hot in the room when you have the computer, the PS4, and the TV going all basically like in the same proximity right in front of you. Anyway, I don't know a thing about Archimedes right now, and my memories are so scattershot. I'm not sure if I ever knew anything about him before, so I'd like to get Caster's take on him.
アルキメデスさんですか？忠実な下僕という風に振る舞ってはいますね。腹に一物持っているかもしれませんが、そこはそれ。何分あの方だけが知っている情報がそれなりにあるのが現状です。逆を言えばそれさえ聞き出してしまえば、そのあたりはおいおいと。私も無駄な計りごとは好みません。リミッターを外した玉もに死角なし。何があってもご主人様には害が及ばぬよう細心の注意を払っております。仮にそうですね、あの方が真っ黒であったとしてもそれごと食らってみせる力が今の私にはございます。ですのでどうかご安心を。たとえ尻尾の1本や2本が相手でもパクリと平らげてみせましょう。
Okay, so we'll try to do one more map, and then I'm gonna have to get off of here to get ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh stream we have tonight. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything here because, of course, I need to compare what I need, and I'll do that. I'll do all of that after we're done with this route. Oh boy, that's yeah. I sense someone nearby, and I open my eyes. I see a beautiful sight. Even awake, I feel like I'm still dreaming. Her eyes glow in gold. Her hair shines bright. The woman who stands and fights beside me. She's close to me. Incredibly close. Close enough that our lips are almost touching. Not what I expected to see first thing in the morning, but I guess nothing is impossible.
お目覚めですか？もう少しだけお眠りになっていただいても私構いません。これは夢です。その証拠にほら、私も今夢ご。
I don't bother arguing. She lies on top of me, pressing down. She's warm and comfortable like a blanket.
私、皇帝寮母の守護だってできちゃう系の寝入り寝起きのお世話は得意なサーバントです。お休みならこのままどうぞごゆっくり。すべてはご主人様のお望みのままに。
A former guard to the mausoleum of the Yellow Emperor. I remember that she can establish secret connection with a certain negative energy, which guides luck from the, what is that, Kunlun? She also has a mirror which can reflect the golden light of the sun. It's great that she has so many titles and jobs. You can't go wrong with branching out. Frankly, I wish I had more than one to my name. But that's neither here nor there.
起きてしまわれたのですね。残念。でもおはようございます。私の訪れは太陽の訪れであれば
You could say that, I guess.
かつてはあんなにも激しく愛しくもふってもふっても振り倒してくださった私の尻尾よもや熱いだなんてまさかそんなご無体極まるお言葉なんて
think I made her
それは
upset.
ドキッとしますし、これはこれでありかなって震えちゃいますけど、思わず実力行使に及んでしまいます。
Force?
ええ、このキャスターチャンスをつかむと決めたのです。
Seize anything she wants. Speaking of seizing, if I can stretch my hand a bit, I can grab her hypnotic fluffy tail, but I'm 90% sure that's not what she means. And that aside, when I'm talking to Caster like this in my room, nostalgia begins to rise up. Caster's the same as ever when she's here, but once she goes out of the throne room, she shows a dangerous side. I have to find out why.
私セラフに会ってあなたに寄り添うこの賜物前は今度こそいいえ二度とあなたを話はしません。お仕えいたします。永遠に長く長くあなたが愛してくださった。
Her words are melancholy, but full of genuine heart. This isn't her usual cheerful courtship. This is quiet, something she can't just laugh off. I feel like I've seen her say farewell like this before, in the middle of the Mooncell's Holy Grail War, or in the middle of a fight. Something from a dream I can't quite grasp.
なんですかご主人様。そんな風にじっと見てダメです。ダメ。ただでさえ今のあなたはイケメンの極みというかイケメン魂イケ玉そのもの。それがそんな儚げに押し玉って。ああ、もうダメですダメ。いただきます。お皿まで残さずいただきます。
I was just looking at her. I didn't even mean anything by it. How did it come to this?
英霊たるものスエゼン食わぬはあれのあれ。構いません構いませんとも。この世のすべては私のもの。それはこの千年教における絶対のルール。ご主人様といえども今やこの手の中にいいえ尻尾の中にあり。 尻尾をそんな風にいけませんご主人様。でもすごい、こんなのって初めてです。ご主人様のお気持ち理解しました。こう軒並みまるっと私に委ねてくだされば万事解決。あなた様をセラフの帝神中央にして差し上げましょう。
Ah, she finally said it. She really did say it. She's been telling me all the time she's not that kind of woman. But this is like she's declaring she's Daji herself. I don't know who Daji is. I tell Caster to calm down and remember why we're here. But the situation continues to advance like a rolling boulder. Caster removes her sash. She and I...
どっりゃー、何してるのよこの獰猛哺乳類。珍しく早起きして何かしてるから、へえ、今日の朝食はあんたが作るのねとか思ってたら何なのよこれ。
Apparently this is a reoccurring thing in Tamo's route where Elizabeth just shows up to cockblock us.
呼ばいとか何オリエンタルファンタスティックな恋に及ぼうとしちゃってるのよ青ギツネ。
And just like that, the boulder stops. Maybe I should thank Elizabeth for saving me. Or was I really in that much danger?
助けた？違うわよ。何勘違いしてるのよ。ちょっと用事があったから、カルナから届け物を渡されたから、別にあんたのことが。
We don't care, Elizabeth. Get out of here.
じゃないのよ。
へえ、なるほど、そういうことですか。押しかけ系押し押しヒロインから主人公とレーティングを守らんとする隣の家の幼馴染ポジション気取り。
隣の家の幼馴染？それって隣国の領主の娘ってこと？いい、その設定ベーシックだけどフェイバリットよクリス。
公爵。
Oh, you deserve it.
Ah, もう死んだわ。今度こそ死んだと思ったわ。私がデミドラじゃなかったら死んでたわ絶対。
Elizabeth says she's a demi-dragon, which is interesting.
でもこれ割と癖になるわね。お腹の脂肪もプルプル震えて、ただでさえ可憐なラインがさらに可憐になっちゃうかも。
何がデミドラですか。電撃に耐性があるなんて竜というよりウナギです。電気ウナギと解明なさい。それとしつけに対する感謝の言葉がないですよ。駒使いが女王の足を噛んでまさかこの程度で済まされようとは思っていませんですね。電撃に慣れてきたのなら次は灼熱。この場で焼いてトカゲの黒焼きを作ろうか。
教育。
今日がそがれちゃいました。ご主人様、お先に玉座の前へ行ってますね。朝毛は食卓に準備させていますから、ゆっくりと召し上がってからおいでくださいまし。それではまた。ごきげんよう。
やめてこないで。今助けられたらそっちの方が私はこの城の駒使いよ。仕事に専念するから。あなたはあのバカギツネの手綱を握ってなさいよ。でもありがとね。その君。
恐れながら申し上げる。セラフの王並びに王妃たるキャスターよ。かの皇帝がレガリア所有者であると判明した以上、一刻も早くレガリア所有者 皇帝ネロを倒すべきでしょう。
我が方針ようやく理解したか。ならばよしと言いたいところであるが、浅ましいな数学者。だがその天真望む者のために言葉などいくらでも覆す。それこそが人間の正しい姿ゆえな。
強越至極。皇帝を打ち果たし是が非でも分かたえたレガリアを真に一つに。しかしセイバーは自らの領土の奥深くに自陣を形作っております。皇帝を倒すためにはおのずと皇帝領へと侵攻を行う必要があるでしょ
う。
Unlike yesterday, Archimedes and Castor seem to be on the same page. Or rather, their interests now overlap. We're going to fight Saber, the Emperor. It's not something I wished for, but I don't think I can talk Castor out of it. There's also the enemy we encountered in the Moon Cell core. We need to prepare for it by putting the regalia back together. So we have to make a move.
待ちなさいよ。トントン拍子で攻めなんて話しちゃってるけど、あっちの孤立はどうするのよ。さっき
黙りや駒遣い。貴様にはかまどの掃除を。
厨房の掃除なんてもう終わったわよ。そんなことより孤立の話よ。この通り私の手は空いてるわ。だから命令しなさいよ。そうすればセイバーの領地に攻め入って華麗なライブを披露しながら奪い取ってきてあげるけど。
その必要はない。魂のご主人様はこちらにあり。なれば精神など無理に取り戻すまでもなし。むしろ魂だけの方が話は早い。
はあ？
おお、なるほど。そういう考えもありですね。
Isn't this going too fast? I mean, Castor seems to know what she's talking about. Is it a compatibility issue? Maybe the mind is better suited for Saber and I'm better suited for Castor.
寛容なのはレガリアです。あれさえ奪えばムーンセル制圧の手間が省けるというもの。義弟の領土全てを制するまでもなく、ただあやつを倒しレガリアを奪う。さすればセラフは私のもの。いよいよムーンセルは神戸を深く垂れてご主人様と私の永遠のパライソが月に現れる。なんとあっけない。目の上のコブかと思えば何のことはなし。戦勝皇帝なぞセラフすべてをこの私に献上するために存在するようなもの。
Her words are honest, and her intentions are pure. Some might say her desires are selfish, but I can't argue with her. And she's not wrong. If we do get our hands on the regalia, all the little problems beneath her will sort themselves out. Then there's the unknown threat. From what Archimedes and Saber mentioned, Castor and I will eventually have to take care of it, uniting the regalia. If we do that, we'll take all of Seraph and the Moon Cell. We'll take all of Seraph and the Moon Cell, and it does mean we'll take on the responsibility to protect it.
ご主人様も納得されたご様子ですね。頃合いです。これより出陣と参りましょう。手に手を取り合ってローマの帝国に血のバラを。いざ共に参りま。
あっちのコリスは放っておいてもいいですって。何よそれ。あの狐本気で頭いかれちゃってんじゃないでしょうね。
おや、朝毛はきちんと召し上がられましたね。あ、もしやもしやこの私が恋しくていらっしゃる。それでわざわざ水黒い中の私に会いにいらっしゃったとか。それは嬉しゅうございます。
It's true that I came here for her. I wanted to see her face before the battle. Seeing her on the throne like that made me want to check up on her. So I'm glad she's back to her usual self when she's in here. Also, breakfast was delicious.
こちらこそお粗末様でした。もうちゃんと食後のお言葉を伝えてくれるご主人様ったらいい。
She really does all she can to be what she thinks of as the ideal woman.
そう、ごめんなどとおっしゃることはありません。この部屋は私の部屋ではなく、ご主人様と私の部屋。ご遠慮なんてなさらずに、いつでも DUT を繰り出してくださって構い
What
ま
does
せん
that
からね。
mean?
というか、今からでも遅くはないと申しますか。ご主人様がお望みでしたら、宣告の続きからひそやかに甘やかに。
What's DUT? Should I have asked that question? I figured it was just some nonsense thing to say, but I questioned it on instinct.
よくぞ聞いてくれました。では、そんないけずなご主人様に説明しよう。
Oh my god, I forgot about this. This was so stupid. So it's Dadum unintentional trouble. Dadum is the sound our hearts make when our love crosses the line. The moment our hands and feet slip, the trouble we get into. Oh my god. I wonder what the translation was of that, or if that was just something that they were like, yeah, let's just see what we can do as far as making a dumb joke out of her dialogue here.
的な大胆になれない大和なでしこを目標に変える千年教の特殊ルールでございますとも。そう、つまりはラッキースケブ。
Oh no. Since Sama was getting out of control, I grabbed a paper fan and swung at her. Unintentionally. Unintentionally.
よよよ、この動じない心、記憶がなくともご主人様はクールでいらっしゃいます。でもそんなところもラブと申しますか。久しぶりのノリツッコミにミコーンと見送れる私なのでした。
Okay, so I think that's all the time we have for right now. Unfortunately, we only got through one chapter of Tanmo's route. Good lord, how many more are there? There's 6 total, so 5 and then the boss stage, of course. So let's see what the other ones are. Oh, this one coming up is basically free, which is nice. And then we have the dreaded Gawain stage, and then the 2 Altera ones. Okay. Which are virtually the same as Nero's route. Okay. Alright. So unfortunately I have to jump off now because we're getting ready to do another Yu-Gi-Oh! Stream here. Maybe I'll get back on later tonight. Maybe I won't. Either way, we are moving right along with the Orchid Worlds arc, which of course is enjoyable, but it's my least favorite of the 4 routes, as anybody can tell you. And I'll be greatly looking forward to when it's done. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.